story number 2 here. Despite buying Activision Blizzard for $69 billion just last year, Microsoft's still looking at even more video game acquisitions. This comes from Wesley Yinpool at IGN. Microsoft's still in the market for acquisitions. In an interview with Bloomberg, Microsoft gaming boss Phil Spencer said he's up for buying more companies, although cautioned that nothing's imminent and big deals are off the table for now. So if Microsoft does open its wallet once again, what might it spend its billions on? Deals that add geographic diversity, including in Asia, might be worthwhile, Spencer said. Apparently, Microsoft's eyed up buying another mobile company. Microsoft picked up Candy Crush maker King as part of the Activision Blizzard acquisition. Quote, we definitely want to be in the market, and when we can find teams and technology and capability that adds to what we're trying to do in gaming at Microsoft, absolutely we'll keep our heads up. Microsoft's still busy absorbing Activision Blizzard employees, Spencer added, which is why very large deals are probably impossible right now, but that leaves the door open for major acquisitions in the future.
Yeah.
Microsoft, you surprised at all?
And no, I mean, I didn't figure they would pump the brakes entirely, slam on the brakes, I guess. I figured they would pump the brakes, whether by court order or just by, we just spent a whole lot of money. But yeah, I mean, what are you saying about getting into more Asian markets or like worldwide markets? That makes sense for them because they've been weak. I mean, especially in Japan compared to Sony, obviously, and Nintendo, obviously. But yeah, I don't know. It's a good business move because I was wondering if they were just going to kind of quit over there, But I think, yeah, I mean, if you can get into, the more markets you're in, the more money you make. So yeah,
absolutely. And I think especially with how worldwide Xbox Game Studios is, I feel like they've made great strides with Japanese companies and Japanese games via Game Pass. And a lot of it has been more of back catalog stuff, but their attempts to get the Final Fantasies, the Yakuza games, the Persona games, and pushing them and putting them in the forefront of like, look, this matters to us.
Yeah.
I think that's great and very, very key to Xbox having that in their back pocket and going forward. But I also think that with the massive explosive growth that Chinese games have had, I feel like it'd be silly to not keep an eye on that and be like, all right, where can we invest in this, or what acquisitions can we make to kind of own this kind of rising boom from the beginning? I think it makes a lot of sense, especially when you start looking at this next story we're going to get into about how they are as open as it possibly can be in terms of where their Xbox games do or don't land. I feel like, it does make sense to look at a lot of the rising talent out there that could use the backing of a big publisher. Obviously, there's a lot of negatives that come with this, and we've seen time and time again the amount of layoffs and the amount of what the consolidation can actually look like. But I do think that there is such a rising class of talent out in China, specifically Korea as well, that obviously Phil Spencer and the team are looking at of like, all right, how could this benefit Microsoft gaming?
And a huge user base, like untapped market. If like America, it's easy as an American to think like, oh, we're the biggest market, we're the driving force, like commercially, which is generally completely untrue. In like if you see, the I don't know if I'm supposed to say that I've seen it, but if you see the like map of servers for a big game, like a big MOBA, for example, America's like 3% of the user base.
And I feel like, a lot of that is genre specific, right?
Yeah,
and it's
for
like
sure.
We're talking about these like massive verticals of gaming that in a lot of ways, like to your point, we kind of just write off as different, you know what I mean, for whatever reason that is. Like we don't talk about MOBAs typically, and whenever we do, it does feel like we're talking about something that's outside of the traditional space. And I think a lot of that is because they're not on consoles, and we have been seeing little types of entries into, or like, how do we do a console version of a MOBA that have limited success? But I think that we are knocking on the door of that bridge kind of opening up a little bit more, but.
And like extraction shooters and stuff. I love it every time I hear of a game that I've never heard of before. Like Crossfire did this to me a few years ago. And then it's followed up with like, this has like 300 million players.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
How?
I was
Yeah.
like, how have I never heard of it? Am I bad at my job?
It's wild, man.
Yeah.
It really, really is. This episode is brought to you by Sonic the Hedgehog at Topgolf. Y'all, when you take one good thing and you take another good thing and you mash them together, that is when magic happens. Kinda Funny loves Sonic the Hedgehog. Kinda Funny loves Topgolf. So you know Kinda Funny is hyped for Sonic the Hedgehog and friends to arrive at Topgolf at supersonic speed on Friday, November 15th with the launch of the new Topgolf game, Sonic the Hedgehog, exclusively available for play at Topgolf venues across the United States. Created for players of all skill levels, which is great for me, Topgolf meets the fast-paced action of Sonic in this new in-venue game where players go head-to-head in iconic virtual Sonic environments, Green Hill Zone and Sky Sanctuary. You can play as 4 iconic characters, Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy, to hit springs, collect rings, and destroy badniks. For players making the transition from a joystick to a club for the first time, Topgolf has your back with its new club, the Sure Thing, designed to make golf less hard. Come play around with your friends and family at a Topgolf near you and try out the new Sonic the Hedgehog game. This episode's brought to you by Marvel Snap. Y'all know Marvel Snap completely took over my life when it burst on the scene 2 years ago. I love it so much that I even mentioned Marvel Snap in my wedding vows because to this day, my wife Gia is so obsessed that she has not missed a single day of completing her challenges. Marvel Snap is an award-winning collectible card game that combines deep strategy, a unique snapping mechanic, and your favorite Marvel characters with thousands of unique card art variants created by renowned artists to collect and use. One of my favorite things about Marvel Snap is just how fast-paced it is. Each game only takes about 3 minutes, so it's always a great time to pop in for a game or two. New cards are released every week, new seasons every month, and frequent events keep the game fresh and exciting. Each game takes only 3 minutes, so you can get in and out wherever you are, and with more than 270 cards in Marvel Snap with over 2,000 unique art variants, you'll always find something new. Download the Marvel Snap app now, available on the App Store, Google Play, and Steam, or visit marvelsnap.com to learn more. This episode's brought to you by Shady Rays. Forget the boring gifts this year. Shady Rays makes finding something special for everyone on your list easy. With premium polarized sunglasses that bring both clarity and comfort, you'll be giving a gift that they'll appreciate every time they step outside. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company offering a world-class product rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Their shades have durable frames and crystal clear optics, making them the perfect choice this holiday season. Every pair of shades also comes with lost or broken protection. If those shades ever disappear or get damaged, Shady Rays will replace them, no questions asked. Shady Rays makes gifting easy with a team ready to help with fast and friendly support. So, give the gift of quality, style, and worry-free wear this season with Shady Rays. Treat yourself for someone special. Go to shadyrays.com and use code KINDAFUNNY for 40% off 2 or more shades. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. shadyrays.com, code KINDAFUNNY. Story number 3 here, tying things together even more. Microsoft gaming boss Phil Spencer won't rule out any Xbox exclusive making the jump to PlayStation, including Halo. This comes from Wesley and Pull at IGN. With Microsoft's multi-platform video game release strategy in full swing, some Xbox fans are wondering whether flagship exclusives such as Halo will ever make the jump to PlayStation. But according to Microsoft's gaming chief, Phil Spencer, there are no red lines in this first-party lineup. Microsoft has so far used older games released over a year ago for its multi-platform push, as opposed to brand new games, but that will soon change with the release of Indiana Jones. Microsoft will launch Machine Games' hotly anticipated Xbox game on PS5 just a few months after it launches on Xbox and PC and Game Pass this December. Speaking to Bloomberg, Spencer said every Xbox game is up for grabs when it comes to making the multi-platform jump. Quote, "I do not see any sort of red lines in our portfolio that say thou must not," he said. "It's too early to make any sort of decision on the next version of Halo," Bloomberg quoted Spencer as saying. What a time we live in. Barrett's killing it today with the B-roll.
This is going to be our reality one day. This is from
God.
when Master Chief joined Fortnite, and this was a real thing that happened. But just think about it.
Yeah.
Just think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wild. You know, I never in my life would. So another thing is I went to Digital Eclipse, like I was saying, and it was in the same building as the Video Game History Foundation, which I've never seen. And it was the coolest room I've ever been in. There was just so many, it was like a library and they literally had every video game magazine that's ever existed.
Oh, wow.
So like complete collections.
Even PSM?
Oh yeah, every PSM, every Game Pro, every Game Informer, every Electronic Gaming Monthly, Nintendo Power,
I want to
official
go to
PlayStation
there.
magazine, official Xbox magazine. Like it was wild.
Dude, that sounds awesome.
And I was nerding out looking at all of
Yeah.
it. And I looked at the 100th issue of Electronic Gaming Monthly, which is very important to me. It had a top 100 list of all games of all time,
remember that
which at
one.
the time was very important to me back in like 97 or 8,
Yeah,
whatever that
yeah.
was. But on the cover, they commissioned custom art that was just like what essentially now just looks like the Smash Brothers Ultimate
Right.
character
But it
select
was-
screen.
yeah.
But it was just like every video game character ever. And in the forefront, it was Mario, Crash, and Sonic.
Yeah.
And just seeing them together at that time was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Imagine the possibilities.
Yeah.
And over time, we've kind of seen that in different permutations. To see where we're at now with the Xbox side of it, as you know, the mascot platformer and the characters that kind of represent these different consoles and systems have, if not died out, changed in importance. Nintendo still sticks to that, but I feel like otherwise the 3D
Astrobot a little.
3D platformers aren't the main genre of
Right.
gaming in the way that they were 2D platforms even, right? Where it's like shooters are a bigger deal and like the more mainstream like thing. To be in that era and to now see Xbox games starting to come to PlayStation, and now Indiana Jones, like
Yeah.
their next big release is so soon coming to PlayStation. It's like these are different times. I think this is a really good thing overall.
Yeah.
And one thing I want to bring up is the Switch 2,
Right.
because we have the Switch 2 coming out next year.
Yeah.
If Nintendo can pull off what I expect them to, which is to put out a successor to the Switch that is what people are expecting and what they want.
Not some weird left turn.
Don't do something weird. Just
Yeah.
give us the Switch 2.
Tiny discs are back.
Yeah, exactly. Like, don't do anything weird like that.
Yeah.
If they can manage to actually put this thing out and maintain the momentum they have, and Xbox then has another giant platform to be able to put their games on,
Yeah.
in addition to their own system, in addition to the cloud, in addition to PlayStation, that's wild.
Yeah.
Even if, all right, the Switch 2 is not going to be able to play things at like the highest quality,
Right.
I feel like,
But they've been doing the cloud streaming thing for a long time.
which
So
is unfortunate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at least for the Nintendo, because the tech's not there to back that up. But I think that the Switch 2, power-wise, is going to get it close enough to be in the realm of we can play these games, specifically because games still need to be developed for the Xbox Series S and in some cases Xbox One.
I figure it'll hit current Steam Deck.
And then that's the thing. I just feel like there's a balancing of power that's happening because of all the devices that are out there, where there has to be this lowest common denominator somewhere. I think the Switch 2 is going to be at least around there. And so maybe the brand new Xbox games aren't coming out, but what if Master Chief Collection came out on PlayStation and on Switch 2? Like, Xbox has such a monumental opportunity here to treat their games more third party and see massive success with that.
Yeah.
So I'm really interested, and I'm happy that we're at a point now that even things like Halo are not off the table.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. You know, it would have blown my mind like 5 years ago. But I think if this is just a step to getting Game Pass on PlayStation, and I doubt they would ever let it on Switch. But like, you know, if they do that, they're in it. Like, you know, game over. Like,
Totally.
Yeah. They don't even need to make boxes anymore.
I mean, yeah, but that's the thing is I think that they always will, because
I think so, yeah.
When you look at, and always is a big word, but when you look at Microsoft's history as a, you know, hardware, but also software operating system developer, like Windows to them, like they make their Surface devices and all that, but then Windows is just on whatever device whatever PC device that you have out there. So I think that strategy has clearly worked for them in a space that is very different, but has a lot of crossover with the gaming space.
Yeah.
So if they continue that, I think that there's going to be some big wins for Xbox IP in the future. And
Office 365 on Switch.
that's what we're waiting for, everybody. Let's get there.